What's up, everyone? It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I'm Paul Wontorek.
I'm Beth Stevens.
And as always, we're joined by Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
You're always in the middle now. You just come in the middle. I like
the jazz
that.
hands.
I'm into it. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
Hard to tell what day it is when life is like the same every day. But Friday's a good day to have a really good guest, and we have a really good one. Who's here today, Beth?
I love saying this. Tony winner, Kelli O'Hara.
Yes. Oh my God, it took so long to get to say that. But now we can officially say it. We will talk to Kelli O'Hara. Of course, she was on the big Rosie O'Donnell show on Sunday night. She was amazing.
Beautiful singer.
She sang one of my favorite songs. Anyway, we're going to talk about that and a lot of other things. But first, let's do today's news.
The diner across the pond closed up shop a little earlier.
Yeah, this is a bummer. So Waitress in London, the West End production, which was at the Adelphi Theatre, is not coming back this summer. Its final performance was March 15th, and that was with Sarah Bareilles, who of course wrote it, and Tony winner Gavin Creel.
So that was when the shutdown happened in the West End.
That was when the shutdown happened there, and it was supposed to run through July 4th, but they're just calling it a day. So no more pies in London. That sounds different.
I'm sure the Sweeney Todd. There's always pies in London.
That's true. That's true. No more of Waitress.
Yeah, and this Tony winner is going live with her new album.
Oh, what's happening here? So this is Linda Lavin, who, of course, was one of my childhood icons on the sitcom Alice. Right, Beth?
Yeah, of course.
You get me. You get me.
Yes.
Linda Lavin is releasing a new album called Love Notes. She describes it as an elegant and swinging mix of timeless standards, jazz classics, and gems of the pop rock era. It is coming out today on Club 44 Records. And to help promote the album and raise the spirits of theater lovers, she's hosting a series of online concerts with Billy Stritch, the fantastic musical director, on Facebook Live. The next one is April 1st at 3 p.m. So tune in and get a little taste of Linda Lavin.
And that's on Billy Stritch's Facebook page. So it's B Stritch.
Okay, cool. Got it. Thanks for the 411.
Yes, and PBS is giving us an excellent way to honor this great Broadway icon.
So we've been sad this whole week because of Terrence McNally passing away from complications from the coronavirus, and he was 81. And there was a great documentary about him.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
Terrence McNally, Every Act of Life. So if you go to pbs.org, or if you just go to the story on Broadway.com, it links directly there. You can watch it for free until April 1st, which is just a gift. It's a gift. We're all home. A lot of us are home. It's a good chance to learn more about Terrence McNally.
And he had such a fascinating life. Like, I actually didn't know that much about him before I saw the documentary, and he's so open, and he's such an amazing guy. So definitely, everyone, please check that out.
Mm-hmm. And fans are going to have to wait a little bit longer for this star-studded Scottish play.
Well, Scottish movie, right? I mean, this was a film adaptation of Macbeth. The Coen brothers were making this film. It's based on the Shakespeare's play, and it's on hold because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And this is being produced by Scott Rudin, who produces, I think, 41% of the things on Broadway. A lot of good stuff on Broadway. Big, prolific Broadway and Hollywood producer. And it's going to star Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand as Macbeth and Lady. I just call her Lady. It's like the Cher show.
And no one else does. And of course, they're both Tony winners. And Frances McDormand is married to Joel Coen. So there's that.
Oh,
in case you needed
that's right. That's right. Thanks for the 411, because I didn't realize.
Hot tip.
It's also Corey Hawkins is going to be in it, and Brendan Gleeson, and Harry Melling. So a lot of other theater actors as well. Is that all the news we got? That's the news. The news portion is just so quick these days. But
Kelly's here. We want to make it fast.
Fast and positive. So thank you, Beth. And Caitlin, why don't you tell everyone about today?
Gladly. Guys, as you said before, we have Tony winner, Miss Kelli O'Hara, here with us today as we are live at 5 home edition, both live on Facebook and YouTube. Kelli O'Hara has been on Broadway 12 times, 12 Broadway productions. She's been nominated for her turns in Kiss Me Kate, Bridges of Madison County, Nice Work If You Can Get It, South Pacific, The Pajama Game, and The Light in the Piazza. And she took home that trophy for her leading turn in The King and I. You guys can follow her on social media at Kelli O'Hara, and it's Kelly with an I, not a Y. You guys leave all of your questions down in the comments below for us to ask Kelli later. And please welcome Kelli O'Hara and Paul.
Hi, Kelli O'Hara.
Hi, Paul.
How are you? I love how Caitlin did each credit on a hand. She was like, this, and this, and this, and this. You got a lot of hands. You've done a lot.
I got a big hand. I got lots and
I like how you just Kelly O and feet. Just Kelly O. Oh, you're barefoot. It's a barefoot interview.
Hey, I'm at home. I'm bare feet. Yeah.
We're just keeping it so like
no pedicure. That's for sure.
Now, let me ask you, because you always look fantastic and you are a very stylish lady. And it's been so interesting to me to see how quickly the entertainment world, it's suddenly people don't seem to care so much about hair, makeup, what they're wearing. I mean, it just feels like all of these things that we put all this energy into have all just kind of dissolved away. And everyone's like, you know what? I'm just here. I mean, you're sort of a natural beauty. You don't need all the stylists and the team, but you have a team normally.
I do have a team when it's, I think we get really wrapped up in life in what's expected of us.
Yeah.
I think it's a good lesson. Right now, what's expected of us is not that, because no one, if we're having a team come over, that means we're not social distancing. So, I mean, I took a shower, which I almost couldn't, be bothered because my PJs were very, very comfortable, and I blew my hair dry. And so I feel like, wow, this is it for you, Paul. I'm really, putting all this stuff. But true, I feel like the expectation feels like a relief to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do. I got the sun shining. You do get all sort of wrapped up in that, and we really shouldn't. We should just be who we are. I mean, Alicia Keys totally rocking the whole non-makeup thing. I just loved it.
Yeah, that was what I thought was really fun about the Rosie O'Donnell show on Sunday. Was seeing one star after the next, sort of at home, and you were on with your kids, which is amazing. And Neil Patrick Harris was on with his kids, and Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick just hanging out on a sofa in casual clothes, and it really sort of made that whole thing ring true. It just felt like everyone is on the same level with this pandemic, and we're all sort of living through it in the same way. It just felt like everyone was just sort of, and it's just kind of a lovely thing.
Yeah, no, it makes us feel like we're in this together. It's a good reminder that there are certain things that you cannot control. And I remember I used to say about being pregnant, like it's the one thing in my life, you can't pay the expediting fee. Not that I wanted to, but you can't get the first class version, really. You were going to do this the natural way. And right now, if the way to help humanity at large is to stay at home, be humble about this, be a part of everybody, not just for ourselves, then we stay at home. And for the most part, that means not being fancy and going to fancy parties and getting glammed up and whatever. It means being comfortable at home and trying to cook meals and do the thing you're going to do for your family.
Yeah, I thought what you did on the Rosie O'Donnell show was, I love that song, "Take Me to the World," so much. It's like such a beautiful Sondheim. It's a deep cut. It's from Evening Primrose. But it's also a really clever choice, because Evening Primrose, isn't she actually like a mannequin? Isn't it about like mannequins in a store? And she's like stuck. She's stuck in the store, and she like can't. She wants to get out, right? Isn't it?
Stuck in the store, and it's she wasn't actually they were actual. It was kind of this world of this kind of. They quarantined and if they left the store, then they thought they would be killed. So they actually ended up living in the store, and this young girl had dreamed of all of these things, to walk out under the clouds and in the sun and not aisles. And actually I was going to sing, I have this mashup of, it was so funny because Audra and Patty I had this mashup of Smile and Here Comes the Sun.
Right.
And I thought it was the perfect thing. And then at the last minute, my music director, Dan Lipton, said, we used to sing Take Me to the World all the time in my Carlisle show. And I used to sing it around town. He pulled it out. I haven't sung it in like 15 years. He said, isn't this the song? Isn't this the one? And I said, you're right. It's Sondheim's it's his birthday.
Yeah.
And it means being trapped inside.
Right.
And then just singing it, I was like, oh, I forgot about this song. So every time you see me in the next year, I'll probably be singing that song again.
I'm happy. It was so good that I wondered if it was Tony eligible. I mean, it was such a good performance.
It should be Tony. It should be Tony eligible. I would like to have another Tony nomination.
How is your Tony?
For a one night song in my gym.
How is your Tony?
My Tony's, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Cool.
Yeah. It's right there. I'm looking at it.
It's nice to have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how are your kids doing?
Well, they're okay. Charlotte learned to ride her bike this past couple of weeks, which was really exciting. And yesterday she fell really bad and we were at the hospital.
Oh, it's horrible.
Stitches. Yeah. So that was rough. And so she's okay. She's okay.
Oh man. But having to go to a hospital at this time is like just insane. I mean, yeah. Yeah. It's a whole different experience.
We even said, don't get hurt. This isn't the time to go to the hospital. And we went to the hospital.
Right. Great. Well, that's life, right? We have to sort of deal with things as they come. And is there like homeschooling happening? And what's going on with them? They're studying things, right? And learning
all day
things?
Homeschooling.
Yeah.
We're doing homeschooling. My son's class is more Google Classroom, led by his computer. Charlotte's is moving into that, but right now, so far, we've been just having these worksheets they send home and lots of things. I have to say there's a loveliness to it. There's a kind of calm beauty to it. There's also a hectic nature to it. The kids are fighting. They want to see their friends, but we're doing okay.
Mm-hmm. What were you supposed to be doing in April? What was your concerts and?
It was one of the busier times I've had lately. I had a lot of concerts, like 3 or 4 big ones that got canceled. The ragtime thing for a concert for Packers Fun. And I was starting a television show, which is still going. It's just being postponed. They haven't even announced, so I can't talk about it. But yes, workshop of a new musical I'm working on. Lots of things being put off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you just kind of have to just accept it. I mean, it all happens maybe for the good of us. I don't know. It's just interesting to think about how this will change society in a lot of ways, right?
Well, yes, but I do know something though. Like I'm appreciating all the things that it's actually giving me as far as time with my family, creative energy that's happening. So I'm trying to do other types of things, but I can't make a living, I realize, at all unless I have people. And so one thing I am worried about is how can I pay my bills? So I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to start doing voice lessons or something virtually or something. I don't know.
Oh man. Kelli O'Hara voice lessons. That's like at a premium. That should be at a premium. You have a good voice.
For $1 million, $1 million.
I love that so much. I want to pop Beth in for a minute. Hey, Beth, I'm bringing you in. You guys are both moms with kids.
Yeah.
So you kind of I feel like I can't even go anywhere near what you guys are doing. It's a whole different. You have a whole operation happening at home.
It's a lot, right, Kelli?
It's a lot.
And what did your I love this, Beth. What did your son get to learn today? These are good skills.
Oh, right. So his middle school is offering finishing school, which is just extra stuff that's not part of the curriculum. So they learned how to do laundry.
Cool.
And they learned how to fix a bike tire. And one of the teachers is going to teach them how to make homemade Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, I know. Can I get in that class? Is that you can give me the login or can I?
Login, yeah.
Well, so what do you kind of and it's so fascinating. I actually I heard Andrew Cuomo during one of his addresses talking yesterday about how, kids, like your kids, this is going to be such a impactful time in their lives that they're actually going through something that maybe the last couple generations didn't really, I don't know. It's really been sort of, it's such a, I can't even imagine if I was a kid, how this would have, I remember very memorable snowstorms that kept me home for 3 or 4 days when I was a kid. And then you think about sort of what they're carrying on. What kind of conversations are you having with them?
with my daughter, she's been doing a writing project where we've called, which has been really neat to connect with my family, but both of her grandpas, my mom, her grandma, aunt and uncle, and she's interviewed them about like, what did you do as a kid? Did you have chores? What was your favorite memory? And then the last question she asked each of them so far, we're going to do more. What happened in your childhood that was like this in mine? And, so we got through from the grandparents, we definitely got the Cold War, Vietnam War, whatever it was. And then, being taught to go under their desk in case something happens. And then my brother and sister, like we remember the Challenger. You remember the teacher, Krista McAuliffe, going down in the space shuttle. I remember that it was so traumatizing, but it wasn't the sort of thing, we've never experienced this sort of thing where it says, you stop your life. You stop living your normal life. For us, we had the real benefit of, the war being over there, that kind of, now, I mean, it's not a benefit to our country or anybody fighting, but it kept us so naive and so innocent. Yeah. And there is a part of this that feels a little bit like, wow, we've actually stopped what's convenient to us, what we are supposed to be getting to do. And I think there's a great lesson in that. Like I was talking to you before, it's like we're not in control.
Mm-hmm. And Kelly and my kids are pretty close in age, and they were born after 9/11. There are a lot of kids that will remember that. Yeah. But even that, we were told to, keep fighting, don't let the terrorists win, go out and do things. And the theater community was up and running fairly soon after that. These kids didn't even experience that. So it's different.
Kelly, do your kids know any of like your Broadway cast albums?
No, I'm not very good at listening to anything that I've ever, although, they've seen, what I did have was I have these wonderful babysitters, and they used to play, like when I was gone, they would play like when we were on Kelly Ripa, with King and I or something. So, and my kids have seen King and I like way more times than they want. So they know those songs, but they don't really know the songs that I do in shows as much. They've come to my solo shows. They know some of those songs, but we need to listen to more cast albums just of other friends too. I should do that.
Yeah. There's a lot. You have a lot to choose from. And, I want to also mention your great friend, Ruthie Ann Miles, very excited for her. We talked about the news that she's pregnant the other day. That's thrilling. I know you're really close to her. So have you been able to talk to her at all?
Oh yeah. No. She's really, really, I think they've been very cautious. Yeah. And it's not been an easy road. And I think when I saw her announcement, which I didn't know was coming, I mean, I've known she was pregnant for a long time, but that really gave me such a warm heart, because it felt to me like her being ready to celebrate this, because, they're less than 6 weeks out. So that means the baby's cooked, pretty much due early May. And I feel like she feels like she can, maybe not as much as some people, but a little bit of celebration, and to share it with the world that, and she's just, she's going to continue to inspire us. She's just moving forward. She and Jonathan are really strong, and they're going to have a lot of support around them.
Yeah, she's definitely been in our hearts. We're very excited. Hey, Beth, I'm going to slide you out, and I'm going to bring in Caitlin, because I know that we have questions from the fans.
So many questions.
We have questions, so let's get to some of them.
All right, this is my favorite one. So Lauren T on YouTube says, last time you were on Live at 5, you got that Harvest coconut water. Are you all stocked up?
No, I need Harmless Harvest.
That's so funny. Yeah, so you mentioned it on Live at 5, and then it actually became a thing. Like they actually
brought it to the theater, like a truckful. Yes, but I drank it all, and I need more. That is such a good question.
Well, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you'll get anything you want sent to your home during this time. This right now, I don't know. Charmin, I don't think it's gonna work. I don't know.
I know. Lysol, Clorox wipes, please.
Yeah. We don't need the special fancy water right now. Maybe right now we don't need it.
I'll be without the fancy water.
we can get by. What else, Caitlin?
Yes. All right. So Jason Crespin says, Kelli, you're an amazing cook. What is your favorite recipe you have made while social distancing?
Oh, Jason, I owe you that chili recipe. He's literally writing to give me a hard time. I owe him a chili recipe. The one that I did with Susan Blackwell that time, the turkey chili recipe. Well, that one's a good one, and I will send it to you. I just haven't found. Oh gosh, sorry, Jason. I've been cooking. I've been trying to be very creative, that if I can. And I have this group of girls that are my besties, and we share recipes, and I've been getting a lot. That's actually the funniest group, because there's a group of us out where we live that kind of are connected to a group of people out in Jersey. So Stephanie J. Block and Michelle Federer, they're all part of that. And then, Stacey Morgan Lewis and Julie Foldside and Megan Osterhaus and Neely Bassman. We're all sharing these recipes constantly. But I would say just the New York Times, oh my gosh, their recipes, just go, get that app, and they will give you weeknight easy, weekend.
Oh, really? That's a good tip. I didn't know that. Okay.
Cool, man. You can get on the New York Times cooking app, and you can make a shopping list. You can just push save, and it'll put the whole ingredients so you can shop it when you get to the store.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great tip. I didn't know. Thank you, Kelli O'Hara. I appreciate it.
I love it.
Amazing. So TV Joelle on YouTube wants to know, what was your high school theater experience like? Any advice for high school kids in theater? Love you, Kelli.
Thank you, Joelle. It was very interesting that you asked me that. When I was 16, I moved towns. It was very hard for me. My dad got a new job, and I moved to a brand new school, brand new high school. But the one thing that saved me there was this theater program, and it wasn't fancy like they have now. We literally walked from mic to mic, singing the solo. We didn't have like love. We didn't. It was so. The teacher, Dixie Lee Jordan, who's now passed away, but it was so real and true, and she kind of really gave me the bite to love this world. And so we did different shows. She did 2 plays and 2 musicals a year. I usually only did the musicals because I played sports and in between. I loved it. It was probably the most important part of my life, and everybody got involved, which I don't think that happens anymore. Now you can do sports and do theater and do things. And so we did like 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, and all the senior Sporto boys played the brothers and wore like long underwear, and the whole school thought it was the funniest thing in the world because they were all in these adorable underwear suits. So we just had it was actually kind of a lifesaver for me at a new school. Yeah. To find my place, and it was in that theater department. Really great.
So when you entered as a new student at that age, did you just go audition, and is that really how you met people, like by getting in the show? And
well, it wasn't a huge school, but I mean, I remember 2 things about it. It wasn't a huge school, and they were going to do a musical, and you could audition for it, and I immediately did. And I had been singing in my other town, not as much as you'd think. It wasn't the normal thing to do where I'm from at all. It wasn't always especially at my other school, it hadn't been like the popular thing to do. But in this school, people embraced it more. And I remember in the very beginning, though, feeling like the daggers of like, who's the new girl?
Sure.
And to take the pots, And I even had some mothers, believe it or not, which is what I remember most, being a little nervous about me. But it taught me a lot about how to win friends and influence people and get along with everybody. And then ultimately inside it, when everybody was involved and belonged, it was kind of, it was when I felt like I would never be happy doing anything else again. Yeah.
Awesome.
So Gracie Stays Up Late on YouTube wants to know, what a name. Do you have any secret talents, Miss O'Hara?
Oh, someone just asked me that. They're like, what would be your secret talent? I know there are things that I wish I was better at some things, many things. I guess I never really used the fact that I was a gymnast a lot as a kid. And I do some of it now with my kid. We flip and we do things. He's trying to get me to do more, and I'm going to break my back. Not time to go to the emergency room anymore. No, but I guess secret talent. my faces, my weird long lip turns into lots of.
That's good.
I can talk. I can hold this lip and talk.
Oh yeah.
And emote for as long as you ask.
Uh-huh.
I always thought maybe if I did like a production of The Elephant Man,
sure,
I could actually do that and hold it there.
Yeah. Bradley Cooper couldn't do that. He had to rely on prosthetics. And
yeah, no, see, I wouldn't even have to wear a prosthetic because I can hold it there like that the whole time. I can smile and I could probably cry and just hold it like that.
I just like how you balance the you can be like such an amazing legit soprano and then like you're just like a total freak.
I tried to put on Instagram this idea of like, let's share humiliating stories with each other and make us feel better, and not share like I'm perfect or whatever. And I was like that in my picture. Like 3 people responded with a story. Like either my story was too long and nobody read it, or people were like, that's not what this is about. This is about looking perfect and being perfect. Nobody bit.
That was amazing. Thank you for showing us how you did that. That was crazy. So kind of going off of what Paul was saying, Emily Nesbitt on Facebook wants to know if you could star in a biopic of any famous soprano, who would it be?
That's really specific.
That is very specific. If I could star in a biop, well, I mean, no, I wouldn't say that at all. Nope. That's a really interesting question. I don't know. I don't know. I think I would like to uncover somebody that nobody knew about being a wonderful soprano that might have gone off to, do something else because that was what seemed like the right thing. I think a lot of times we as artists in general will do something else because either what we love to do isn't supported or so I would like to uncover some woman who everybody knows for something else and uncover the fact that she was this lover of music and sang soprano. So you know what? That's a good idea. I'm going to go do that.
You have time. It is interesting when people sort of drop performing, and I've seen so many actors, fantastic actors, sort of pivot their lives into other paths and just go to. And I'm sure friends of yours have done that. What do you think you would do if you really did have to come up with something?
I mean, the problem, Paul, is that I have no skills. I do love to cook, but not. I've often thought that one of my better jobs would be to be on the Food Network tasting things.
Oh, a taster. Okay.
A taster. I could give lots of good comments like, oh, needs a little more acid, whatever you need.
Okay.
I could travel the world tasting, foods, I don't know why men are always the hosts on those things. Let's send a woman out there. But other than that, like aside from, I love teaching. I would do more of that if I had more time, which, here we are, but I love being with people in person.
Yeah.
But as far as kind of a really 180, there isn't, I've never loved anything as much as I love this and being around it and sharing with people that way. So that's always been a hard question for me because in a way, I don't even want to imagine it.
Mm-hmm. But you're going to start doing those $1 Million Voice lessons. So
yeah, just $1 million.
Teaching it just went up. It went up.
I love it. Can we do one more question?
Yeah, one more.
Awesome. So Alicia Rosario on YouTube says, if you could gender bend any role, what would it be? A lot.
What were you going to say? You're going to say something. You're going to add something.
I was just saying a lot of people were asking this, but I chose.
Oh, it's a popular question. Okay.
You know what? The other night, someone asked me that question on either Seth or Seth. And I said, George Surratt, because there's such I sing Finishing the Hat a lot in my concerts. And I wrap it around this whole idea that we as artists, this man is singing about it. And we always see that in men. We see men going towards their work and losing sight of their personal life or losing their loves or mistreating their families because they have to go towards the work, which, we feel Sondheim writing this thing, right? But I try to wrap it in this idea that I know so many women and myself included, who that's all we think about. We love our lives, our families, our passion, but we have this passion for this work that pulls us and draws us, and we're constantly missing and losing out through the window. We're seeing, so I think of George Surratt, and I think of that that role, but a combination of kind of that role and some others, but mostly having to do with the fact that men are not necessarily the only ones that are dealing with a passion and a career versus the personal life. Women are more than ever are dealing with that. So I love the idea of taking on a role like that. But there are some beautiful male roles that that I've always admired, and I've admired the way they come in and they save the day, and they have these great, it's not always picking up they're the ones picking up saving the woman, saving the other things or whatever. And, women want to play that too. So. Yeah.
So what's going on with Ragtime? You're going to play Mother at some point. It's supposed to be a reunion concert. Obviously, you're going to honor your friend Maren Maisie and play Mother.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there as a vessel, ladies and gentlemen. I had to stop and cry when they called me. I think we're talking about postponing it. That is my greatest hope. I think everybody would love that. And so I think everybody's just trying to get, how hard it is to get, especially Audra McDonald and Stokes and all those original cast members back together. But if they can, I will move mountains to be there with them, because you have no idea how honored I am by that, and nervous, and just I'll work hard. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, bringing back in Beth and Caitlin, more fantastic women looking out the window. To bring it back to George Surratt. Anyway, finishing the hat, live at 5, finishing the hat. Kelli O'Hara, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for singing Take Me to the World on Sunday night. I keep listening to it.
Thank you. It was great to be here with you guys today.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. Keep in touch. Okay. Good luck with
you too. You too.
Say hi to Greg.
I will.
All right. Hey, Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Gladly, yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Our Live at 5 Home Edition is continuing on, as we're live on both Facebook and YouTube every single weekday at 5 p.m. Tune in on Monday. We talk to Catherine Gallagher of Jagged Little Pill, and have a nice and safe weekend.